Well, good evening to my YouTube viewers. This is the third night of the Freedom Cell Live event, and I will be going live on Facebook in a little under a minute now. And I just wanted to welcome you back. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos, and wait until after the end of the video, I'll be announcing a Zoom meeting we'll be doing Sunday for Q&A, question and answer period. So we'll be starting here shortly with the Facebook Live presentation of the Freedom Cell Network. And hope you've been enjoying this, sending positive energies, positive vibes, positive thoughts to you and yours. Healing, and here we go. Welcome to Facebook Live presentation of the Middle Georgia Agora Freedom Cell launch. This is night 3. The first night, of course, we talked about freedom cells and agorism, voluntarism, anarchy, what all those mean, and why I believe, and why I not only formed a Freedom Cell, became part of the Freedom Cell Network, but why I need it from a physical standpoint, a philosophical standpoint. Night 2, of course, and you can watch the videos. It's either here on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Buckwheat Farms Magic Emporium and Ballroom, and it's on YouTube. But the second night, I talked about the community exchange, community-supported agriculture, and emphasizing the care for the earth, the care for the people, the return of the surplus. This whole idea of a debt-based economy and this debt-based outcome is detrimental. It's driving us in a negative direction. It's when you begin to understand that the earth is abundant and has abundance, and it's waiting for us to draw forth the abundance. But what's missing? So what's missing? You got the first two aspects, and those aspects are powerful aspects, and they've run well together. And so when I was putting together Buckwheat Farms Magic Emporium and Ballroom, when I was putting together the concept of what I wanted to do. And again, if you look at my information page, the idea was to pull together the concepts of voluntarism, agorism, and sustainable permaculture, of those concepts together. But the third part of that concept was the spiritual aspect. And every other time, well, I guess I've seen it in the movement as I've been kind of like on the outside looking into the voluntarist agorist movement. I saw a little bit of the spirituality, and I saw a little bit of it, of course, in permaculture, because it's this understanding of being connected to the earth. But as I began my own meditative path, I found out just how vital this aspect of it was. The one aspect missing from it's like a stool, and we've got two legs. We've got the Freedom Cell leg, and we've got that community exchange system, community supported agriculture, that agorist leg. But the other leg is that the will leg, that the will that moves us from just being meme casting, guys shouting at clouds and arguing about what it is, to actually doing something about it. And that's what I've seen in the Freedom Cell movement is that absolute, and it is magic. It is magic. It is the use of the will to create the world that we desire, which is the very definition of magic. You can call it The Secret. You can call it what are some of the others? and I'm not knocking them. It's just that I don't practice them, so I'm not all that familiar with them. But there are all these other just living an intentional, with intent, setting intent, all kinds of meditation, even Stoicism, because Stoicism was one of the my early entrances into all of this. And then I went from reading the Bhagavad Gita to studying chaos magic, reading Phil Hines' Condensed Chaos, and understanding there the connection between quantum physics and the moving of energy, and how our will and our mind and our intent has that. And that is what I'm seeing with the greater reset. That is what I'm seeing with this whole idea behind the Freedom Cell movement, is not just something that's on the surface, but has that third impartation of I've got a little note here on the side of my notes. It was an article I just came across in my news feed that the title of the article was something like "Culture Drives Evolution More Than Genetics," and the gist of the article was that genetics take an entire generation to make an evolutionary shift, but culture itself can change, make evolutionary changes come about at a much faster rate. Well, how is that? Epigenetics shows that we can literally restructure our DNA by our will. It follows physics, the double slot experiment. Again, I'm not going to research for you. Research it yourself. I don't. But rather than that, and this was always the frustration was always, what can I do? What am I to do? What, rather than the memes, rather than shaking. And here it is. Here is your opportunity. Here is your opportunity to join like-minded individuals who understand that it is perfectly fine to not to desire to live an autonomous life, to desire to live as you see fit, as long as you are not violating someone else's liberties. What we here, you can find people who believe and act on that. It's one thing to say, well, I believe it and I'm really all for it. And I've been challenged on this. It's are you just a keyboard warrior, or what are you doing? And I see that the things that I'm doing are even minuscule. But the thing is now, but I have the will now. I have the will, and the will is growing. There was a video, and I'll link to it. It's kind of out there. It's esoteric. It's really powerful about some of the revelations that have come from some deep level hypnosis, and I believe that we're coming upon that time, and that's why the three aspects are being drawn together. We are coming upon a time when there's going to be a revealing, a tearing off of the lid. We're already seeing it with much of the email situation, and don't want to go there. Don't care where you come down on that. It really doesn't matter to me. But we're going to see a time coming where there's going to be a revelation of things. And it's going to be, and the unraveling is going to be so fast-paced and so quick that, and we know what's coming. And if you're watching this video, you're one of those who knows what's coming, and we're prepared, and we've been through, because we've been seeing it, and it's going to be really tempting to say, "I told you so," because man, we've been catching hell. Some of you for decades, some of you years, some of you for weeks, months, whatever. But you've caught it, and so when it comes, it's not a time for "I told you so," because what's going to happen is all the foundational beliefs that people hold, whether it's religion, their foundational beliefs in government, their foundational beliefs in the systems of the current systems of this current paradigm. They'll be shaken, and they're going to be revealed. There are going to be things that people are going to find out, and they're going to be grieving because they're going to lose their identity. Many people have identified themselves in this. And so there's going to be some grieving. They're going to go through a sudden, all the stages of grief, and we've gone through it. We've gone through it as we've had those pieces of us that we've allowed to die as we've seen. For me, there were certain beliefs that I held about certain things, and certain beliefs I held about even things about my parents and my upbringing, and things that I held religiously in my mind that I've had to release and unburden and face the reality of. Not that they were good or bad, but just that they were, and that they don't define me. So we're coming to that point where more and more of us, we've been through that, but we've been through it over a course of years. And you know how painful the journey is. We talk about it, those who in the meditative, who do the meditations and who go into the deeper areas, what we call high magic, where you go into the areas of the dark night of the soul, where you really look into the dark recesses of who and what you are. And there's some great grief, there's pain, there's agony, there's things that we've gone through, and we go through that denial, we go through that anger, and we go through all those stages, and it's going to happen in a rapid time for them. And rather than saying, I told you so, and rather than gloating, we need to amp up the empathy, and we need to soften the blow. And that's really what I believe the true reason for the Freedom Cell Network is we are here to soften the blow for our fellow man as all that they have seen, all that they have believed in, all that they have trusted in begins to fall away, and their very identity, because they've identified with those things. And so what I'm doing here is I'll have I want to schedule a Zoom meeting for questions and answers about the Freedom Cell. And then I want to do a series maybe of maybe some more videos. We'll see whether it's electronically or in person. Because I'm really trying to develop local Freedom Cells. If you're in the middle Georgia area, if you're within 50 miles of Macon, Georgia, look it up on the map. On your phone, you have a map on your phone. And look it up there and see where we are. If not here, look up other Freedom Cells. We really need to get together. We really need to be linked, more so than just in spirit, because there's some physical aspects to this as well. And so I'm going to be setting up a Zoom meeting. I'm shooting for Sunday at 9. I'll put a posting on Facebook. Make sure you follow our page. I'll also make an announcement on my YouTube videos, and those who are all YouTube followers, YouTube subscribers, you're welcome to join the Zoom meeting as well, the Q&A meeting. Wherever you are in the country, we can just talk about what's going on and what's happening maybe. So we'll do that. But anyway, the time is upon us, and all that we've been anticipating, all that we've been, and not with trembling or fear, but with this, just like, yeah, this is coming, and we are ready. You are ready. You have everything you need. You are ready. You're ready. You're ready physically. You're ready spiritually. You're ready emotionally. Namaste.